Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me for another Alfred Hitchcock Presents review. Today I will be talking about Season 4, Episode 22, The Right Price, starring Eddie Foy Jr. and Allyn Joslyn. And this is a perfectly acceptable, solid, entertaining episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. It's kind of presented in that light comedic manner, and while I was amused a few times, I didn't really laugh that much, but I still thought the episode worked overall and had a pretty decent twist, which, well, not anything earth-shattering or groundbreaking, was still pretty decent. So we start with Alfred Hitchcock, and he's an engineer this week, and that's all I'll say about that, although it's always nice to see Alfred trying out new things. So we start with these two business partners, and they're arguing. Their names are Mort and Joslyn. And we also find out after a few minutes that they are a couple, husband and wife. I thought this was a decent way to start the episode, something a little bit different. Then we go to the next scene, and they're getting ready for bed, and they're still arguing just about all kinds of stuff. So eventually they do go to bed when Mort hears something in the middle of the night, but Joslyn's still asleep. So Mort goes to investigate, and this takes a few minutes, and then he finds out there is a man in the house, a thief, a burglar, whatever term you want to use. So this thief is talking to Mort, and he takes a few things. But Mort doesn't really seem too upset about this. Like I said, this is done in kind of a light manner. He says, I'm insured, so I don't really care. So this thief, who says to call him the Cat, we don't really know his real name. Maybe that is his real name. I have no idea. He wants to make a deal. He says what he does is, when he finds out that Mort's insured, he'll take some things, and then Mort can claim that Mort was stolen. That way they both make a profit. So kind of a strange plan, but I guess you just got to go with it. So they keep discussing this plan for a while, and doesn't seem like it's going to work out because Mort doesn't really have anything that's that valuable worth taking, apparently, which was slightly amusing. So then Mort has this idea. He tells Cat, have you ever done anything more serious? Because he wants Cat to kill his wife, I guess just because he's so annoyed with her. So Cat thinks about this in the next scene, and he's eating after he said he doesn't eat at this time of night. I guess he changed his mind because of the seriousness of the situation. I have no idea. The men keep talking, and Cat says that the reason he got into this line of work, becoming a burglar, was because it's interesting. He says other jobs are kind of the same thing over and over. He says, but with this, that every night it's kind of something different, which, okay, kind of an interesting logic there. I'll leave it at that. So they're also discussing on how this is going to be done. Mort and Cat discuss, you could shoot her, you could smother her, all these different things. They also negotiate a price finally after arguing a little bit of $3,500, which winds up being significant to the end of the episode. So at this point, they're ready to get started, but the doorbell rings, and an officer comes by to check things out. He says he just thought it was unusual that Mort was up this late and came to check. I thought this was a bit strange, but it's kind of a short scene to pass time, so I guess it's okay. Really, an officer comes just because he saw somebody up at night? Okay, I'll just go with that. Maybe that was more commonplace in this era, late 50s, early 60s. I'm not really sure. So at this point, when the officer leaves, Cat goes upstairs, and he's going into their bedroom to kill Joslyn. In the meantime, Mort goes back into his office and does something with a file, and then he goes to check on Mort to see what happened. And Mort says, I did it. I killed Joslyn, but we never saw this. It was off screen, of course, which actually worked because sometimes these things are done off screen in Alfred Hitchcock Presents. So they kind of use that to their advantage here, which I thought was kind of clever. So at this point, Mort says, are you sure you killed her? And he says, check for yourself. So at this point, Cat hits Mort over the head and then smothers him. And Joslyn wakes up. It turns out her and Cat were in on this the whole time. She had offered him a deal first, and she was just faking this whole thing. And she says, it's a good thing I offered you more money. She offered him like $5,000 or something. So I guess Cat and Joslyn got the last laugh on Mort in this case. Like I said, this episode's kind of light. If it would have been funnier, I would have given it a higher rating. But I still thought it was an entertaining episode. And I'm going to give The Right Price a 3 out of 5. A decent episode to watch once for sure. Thanks for watching.